Can I ask you about free will then? What is your, have you ever thought to yourself that, I don't know, it's interesting, how much is karma a part of Zen? So.
How much is karma a part of anything? I mean, what is causation? What is reality but causation, right? Contingency. So yeah, free will. You might say, oh, I'm so plagued by all this evil karma that I'm carrying around, Jewish background. And, you know, we Jews have a real monopoly on suffering. You know that, right? Even though you're Christian. You've probably met a few.
I've heard.
Yeah. That's why there's so many Jewish Buddhists suffering. Oh, yeah, I get it. So, you know, we look at karma. We look at our own getting sick in college, for example. You know, all of us have had situations where we may have been forced to really look at our own mortality, or at least fear of death, right? Mm-hmm. And then that may trigger other awareness of other situations where we feel, you know, this, I can sort of see how some unskillful acts and some maybe harmful things that I said in the past may be coming to fruition. Uh-oh. And what to do? You know, if you think you're walking around with the world's evilest karma, what to do? The whole point of this Buddhist practice is to purify our karma. We can change the results of unskillful or unwholesome deeds in the past. We don't have to believe in past lives. All we have to do is look about, oh, you know, what did I do a week ago? And how did I speak to that person? And how careless was I? And really, it's quite an education when we start to look this way. And at the same time, realize that we're not condemned to our karma. So the phrase free will and the Buddhist understanding of purifying one's karma are very much in the same vein.
Mm-hmm. So would you say in absolute terms that there's no free will? I mean, I don't have, you know.
I would never say anything in absolute terms. No, I think that you know, I don't know exactly what you mean by free will, but if you feel you're fated to do such and such and you have no free will in that sense, it's like your karma is so negative. How can you ever get out from under it? How can you ever turn things around? Well, the answer is you can. How do you do that? Well, that's why the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths, right? Yeah, suffering there is. Oh, they did it to me. No, you did it to yourself. Look at the root of suffering. Look at the origin. Look at all the ways in which you've been grasping, in which you've been trying to feed that huge, colossal ego that you believe in. You believe you are this ego. You know, this is myself. And I have to protect it at the expense of everybody else. This feeling, right? Mm. And greed, right? Mm. Grasping because of a feeling of deep lack, deep insecurity. We all suffer from this. This is the human condition. Yeah. And so to understand it is to see that there is a possibility for changing it. So the third noble truth is, yes, you can stop that endless round of shoring up yourself, quote unquote, at the expense of all others. You can reach out, you can listen, you can feel compassion toward others. But first you have to stop that whole samsaric endeavor of grasping and pushing away. Stopping, third noble truth, is meditation, is entering into nirvana. It's right here. When we really stop, we can, with the breath, we can be one with it. This mystery consciousness expands without limit and returns into this tiniest, we have no word, right? Quark? No, even smaller.
Well,
at the same
yeah,
time.
There's a complicated story down there, right?
There's a complicated story. I bet.
There's new pieces are added to the equation every year.
I've noticed. Yeah. And then there's the black hole, right?
There's a lot we don't know yet.
Yes, there is. And there's a lot in not knowing that we can know. That's the wonderful paradox of Buddhism. If we are willing to be vulnerable, willing to say, I don't know. What? Drop that. Then what? No knowing. Out of that no knowing, there's no filter. There's no veil. And everything really can be revealed. So the Buddha taught the fourth noble truth, the path to doing just that, to breaking through all of the restrictions and limitations and boundaries that we have formed into such a thick, heavy containment so that we cannot be vulnerable to others, and therefore we cannot have compassion for others. We don't have compassion for ourselves. It just goes on and on and on. But we can stop.